back to it. You know what I mean? Come on. So you switching spots? We out of Azar. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, you know.
My brother's stuff there. All right. You got that article?
Yeah, I was going to tell you.
All right. Go ahead. This is that article I was talking about. And then this is the same thing. It's just the actual page. This is like the page.
Oh, no, that's lit. Yeah, that's lit. All right. Shalom. Shalom, Yasharala. We're the sons of Yasharala, as you are as well, that's listening, Lord willing. The so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans are the real children of Israel, the called seed of the Most High power, right? Our power, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, we out here in Colorado Springs. First and foremost, we want to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do well, who taught us his 100% truth in his spirit. All right? Peace and a shalom to you hopeful elect scattered to the four corners of this earth. All right, through the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28 and others. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners, those likened unto the speckled bird, pursuant to the book of Jeremiah. All right, we're going to get right into it. The topic for today, what we're going to start out with is, as we all know, the RFID is the MOTB, man. So if one of the Akim want to bring out Revelation 13, 16, 17, 18, and then brother Shah Hazaraf, you can get that article, because, you know, a lot of people see, I was even on the phone with the Akim in the truth, in the prison house. He's even noticing on the news that they keep pushing on mainstream media this Ukraine-Russia. So when the MSM does that, we got to look deeper, right? What's behind it, right? So, of course, rumors of wars, you know, it's going to be a nice little skirmish, which is all on the, under the how do I say, the puppeteering of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? But as well, in order for Yahweh Shai to come back and the missiles to hit, all right, there's a major prophecy that's still got to be fulfilled. And we're going to get into it right now, whoever want to bring it out.
This is Revelation 13 and 15. And it reads, and he had power to give life.
13, 16.
We started 13?
No, chapter 13, verse 16, okay. 17, 18.
Oh, I just said starting at 15. So like,
okay. I thought you said.
No, I was reading. This is Revelation 13, chapter 15, or verse 15.
Okay. Yeah.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast.
He got mad. His spirit got hurt. You don't even know why. But we gonna get on E today just because of that too.
Yeah, fuck that dude, man. That as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So in order to know the image of the beast, you got to know the beast. That's right. You see? So this little horn, so to speak, is America, that which is Rome all over again, 2.0, the last leg that died, you know, or was wounded and came back to life. You see what I'm saying? Which is this. The image is that character, all right, which is the military and political system, basically ushering into that new world order, man. All right, and anybody that don't worship the beast, the image of the beast, which is how EU and NATO runs its shit, all right, you're going to be killed. And when you even go into that word kill, it means to even divide. So you're going to be pushed out the system, man. So any countries out here that didn't want to accept a Rothschild-owned central bank, didn't want to accept democracy and how a CIA-backed, you know, a puppet to rule the people and all that, they were killed, whether it be literally or spiritually, man. All right, go ahead, Art.
down to 16. Revelation 13 and 16, and it reads, He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Down to 17.
So right there, right, we're seeing it causeth all, man. Everybody, see, y'all probably wondering why we going so hard, because we're asking the Father for endurance, faith, and strength through them times, because we know everybody's going to be tried, man. The hour of temptation is coming. All right, but he said what? Because of thy patience, which is long suffering, right? Which goes with endurance, I will keep thee, meaning he will hold us intact under his healing wings, metaphorically speaking, right? To not go through that hour of temptation. That hour is just, it's not going to be a literal hour. It's a season. You see, that's why I said the hour, not 1 hour, right? When you go, it says Babylon shall be destroyed in 1 hour. This one says the hour. So it's just talking about a period of time, but that everybody's going to be tempted, right? Elon Musk is being used by the elite. But what's the name? He's being used by the elite to do the other side with the forehead part chip. Because remember, there's two chips, man. Yeah, exactly. Some people gonna have chips in their head, and other people gonna have chips in their head. You feel me? Probably more people with more money might do the chip in the head. You see what I'm saying? And they'll be able to do greater shit. You know?
It's like they do want to find a way to link that metaverse shit with the Neuralink, so that you can basically be on some world. So you can basically be on some Player Ready One shit,
right?
Some Player One shit.
Just a quick testimony out here. There's a movie actually out on Snapchat called like Wasteland 2042 or some shit, and it's about basically the world after of course, the nuclear war. These people are in LA, and LA is like almost like looks like a bayou city, where they got like river crossings and shit over everything. Like the water fills the city, and the story takes place in basically this, what do they call it? Utopian.
Dystopian.
Dystopian.
It's the opposite of a utopian.
Yeah, dystopian society, where they basically have like a whole like you're walking around and it looks like shit. Like the place is literally Bushwick. Like it looked like Louisiana 1895, but they flip on these little glasses and you see like the advertisement and the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like they push a button on their little glasses and you see, fresh water here, food over here. Right. But when you take it off, it just looks like a bunch of shacks and Bushwick shit. So
that shit wild, bro.
Kind of think I've seen
that's
got Owen Wilson in it,
right? And that's a different one.
That's Zombie of the Matrix slightly.
It's literally Snapchat's making like episodes of it every week.
Oh, okay.
And you got to subscribe to it to watch the episodes. Episodes are like 10 minutes long, but it's supposed to like eventually be a movie. Wow. And then be released as a movie.
That's kind of cool as far as this.
They got they got a zombie Snapchat movie like that as well. Yeah. That's kind of. It's based in Houston, and they're doing basically the same similar thing. And then they find out, the one shorty who they want to get her, she's like actually immune. So everybody wants to catch her now.
To test on her.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fact.
But she's like evading, now she can basically like, so long as the zombies don't kill her, eat her to death, she's gonna survive every zombie encounter. So, it's kind of
it's crazy too. There's the one with the Asians and We All Die or whatever. It's on Netflix. Moab and Nama's little show. There's niggas who are individuals who are immune, but they like to get to walk amongst the dead, man. And if you really think about it, man, that's kind of they're villainized. You know what I'm saying?
Of course,
they're bad guys.
Moving
the
amongst
dudes that can move around the dead, and they get other people killed because they, zombies walk past them and they kill other people around them. But basically saying, that's going to be the elect, man.
Man.
Walks amongst the dead,
just
this is your ass.
Because in that pleasing the Most High, his enemy basically shall bid him peace, paraphrasing. So just imagining when you're going through all this, you ain't take the chip, you ain't take the juice, you ain't fucking with this and that and the third, and all hell broke loose. You see, and nobody really got a problem with you. Just imagine that. You feel me? You walking, and you like, damn, this shit. Wow. I mean, Psalms 91.
Yeah.
10,000 fall at my right side, 1,000 my left side. You feel me? But no pestilence will come into thy dwelling, so on and so forth.
That's another reason the scriptures say, man, be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Because when the time comes, you know what I'm saying, you're not supposed to have that many enemies, man. Because you're not really supposed to be in the world like that. Yeah, right. You know, these other people, they out every night fucking with somebody else's wife, or or the woman's out there fucking around with multiple niggas, got multiple niggas hunting her down. You know what I'm saying? You make enemies easily out the world.
This brother came to the crib, what was that, Friday night, when the girls was at the crib. Yeah. So this dude had, taken like offense to, I don't know what this nigga's problem was, but he got offended and then did some emotional shit on the way into the apartment building.
Right.
And, Kaylani was talking in the parking lot like she was a dude, She was like, hey, niggas, and we both kind of whipped our heads.
Yeah, but I seen her, so I was like, I pointed over there, and Mac was like, weird. And then said something, you feel me? But then dude thought you talking to me. He was like, nah, I don't even know you, bro.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not, very conscious. And then he went and did some.
He got his daughter, and went in, right? And then while we walking into the apartment, helping them bring some groceries in or whatever.
Right. I was basically with them before they saw you. So.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. So, he was like, I got you, because he had a baby in, like a little baby.
In a baby carrier.
Yeah, baby carrier. Right. Yo, I opened the door for you. And so he's struggling to open the door and not deal with him, because I guess that little situation. And he kind of closed the door. We right behind him, closed the door and everything. So when we get inside, I said, yo, thy heart shall be evil towards our brother. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because we live. First of all,
told you that we would help you.
Right. That's one. And two, if you ain't say nothing, right? Why are you asking? If you talking to me?
Why would I be talking to you?
If you see what I'm saying?
But you minding your damn business.
But now finish the testimony, because it has to do with you, because I left.
So last night when because I went back to the crib eventually, because the shorty had something going on, so I went down there, kind of said what's up, and then I went home. Now, granted, I got home, it was still maybe 10:30, 11, and I went to sleep.
Zebulon word said Shalom.
Shalom, brother. I went to sleep, and I woke up to some commotion going on, in the hallway, and come to find out, man, that dude had got, had a bad attitude with somebody, and him and some of his friends tried to jump one of the other tenants, and they got their ass whooped last night. So I saw that dude walking around, and he went outside, and he was on the phone, we tried to jump this nigga, and he beat us all up. Dude's eyes all swollen shut.
Crazy.
I was like, damn, see, now, you was acting a nigga, man. And the Most High humbled your ass.
Yeah, see, the funny thing is, Jake would be quick to do some nigga shit, but less quick to accept help from a brother when you actually need help with your family. But that, that's that.
They tried to jump this dude.
That's slave mentality, man. Jake's still
it's paranoia,
broken
man.
State, man.
Remember what's the curse, Deuteronomy 28, where it's like that basically you always be looking over your shoulder. I'm paraphrasing right now, but you don't know if you're gonna live. Your life is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. God damn. So, just getting close to another brother that looked like you automatically in fighting mode, like a rabid dog or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. Because but Solomon referred us to beasts, man. You see what I'm saying? If we don't have the spirit in us, the laws and statutes, commandments, we're basically beasts.
Right. And then both parties.
Jake is always quick to jump up and talk shit to another brother, man.
Right.
And it would be to jump stupid to a heathen, man.
The wildest part,
word to Esau at the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's that word.
And the wildest part was both parties got up in the morning, went outside, and was talking about it. It was like each guy was like, yeah, man, it was like 4 of them, and I was fighting hard, and then the other dude was like, man, fuck them guys, I beat all 4 of them up. And I heard him running off somewhere. He was like, I got y'all niggas, I got it, screaming and hollering, just ignorant, I heard it all going on. I was just like, man, I'm going back to sleep. You know,
but we coming to that time, man, where the love of many
Shall
wax cold,
man. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm seeing more and more. I'll probably say it after kid, but you feel me? There's a lot of in places where you didn't think would be dangerous is now getting more dangerous, man. And we got to be more selective onto where you put yourself at. You see what I'm saying? Even certain stores during the daytime, you feel me? Certain locations, how you drive, what you listen to, you know, how you look, you feel me? Everything in that nature, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that kind of goes full circle on the way Jake act, because them same Jake is going to be the ones taking this right here, man.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Thinking this shit cool or whatever, because that you know, Jeshurun shall wax fat.
Man. Just like those TikTok dances, man. Taking that mark is going to become trendy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
people,
people love to claim their disdain for it. But you see, you people are ready to give up life off of the way that we live in right now, which is not normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're on the verge, the precipice, so to speak, of something that's worse than the Great Depression.
And I was just
You know
gonna
what I'm
say,
saying? You people ain't ready for that.
That's
You're gonna give up quick.
It's gonna be cool because, you know, look how quick that Push and P shit caught on. Like, not the, you know,
Yeah.
but still, look how fast it caught on. Now you got people all running around. So what's gonna happen when Drake makes a song talking about nigga, I'm shit, you know, I got more than the rest of these niggas type of shit, and it becomes a flex.
Right.
Then you gonna have niggas lining up talking about, yeah, come on, I'm trying to get chipped like Drake, man.
And truly, it's cool right now. You see, because the money that you're playing with, the currency is still holds value to your mind, because the charade is still up, or the shambles is still up, the music or the magic, magic trick.
Yeah.
But soon, man, this economy is dead. You see, it's already dead. America's already collapsing. It just ain't hitting the streets yet, man. You know, and what's gonna happen soon is you're gonna see this economy go, and you're gonna watch people who had money, who had 401ks, who had businesses, who had things going for them necessarily here in America in a positive direction. You know, they've been, don't get me wrong, they've been, chattel slaves, but at the end of the day, they have some certain type of wealth to live comfortably here in Babylon. And what you're gonna see is them lose that in a second. You see, when that happens, that's when you're gonna have them people running to grab that thing, man. When your bank account is zero and you're about to lose your home, and the dollar holds no more value, and the fiat currency is, charade is done with, man.
Because he don't have the mental fortitude, to go from, like, okay, we were struggling to shit, we on the same level as niggas.
And you that were alive or grown ups already in 2008. You see, I was in elementary school in 2008. But those of you that were grown-ups in 2008 when that financial crash hit the first time, that Braxton hit, so to speak, of the collapse of the dollar in 2008, you know how quick and how scary it can be, man. What happened?
Yeah, it looked like it might be some pedo shit going on. You feel me? Because it looked like a grown man and a real skinny young, both of them is Esau walking to the porta potty and shit. But hey,
that's like a demon
some drug,
yeah, probably some drug shit, for real. But still, that's bugged out.
But for some niggas don't get drugs.
But I feel what you're saying, because for the chip, they might wipe out a certain amount of your debt up to a certain number. You know what I'm saying? And be like, hey, come get this.
Does that look like a grown?
Yeah, that's a little girls walk like that.
Yeah, fact. She walked. Yeah,
grown women that do fuck walk with confidence.
Yeah.
Hip swing a little bit. Yeah, they're trying to get all that because she ain't got no hip swing.
Yeah, they're trying to get fucked again.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a perfect segue, if you want to now pull up that article, but we're going to finish this now.
This is Revelation 13 and 17, and it reads, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name."
Right, so now look, I don't know if any of y'all follow Baller Alert on Instagram. It's like another shade room, but just dumb stunting Jake shit, right? But they posted something that I seen that only Israelites posted, which is in Florida Walmart, you got a ribeye steak that is aged up with the tag on it, and only the cashier can take it off.
I did a video last night
on that same shit, right? So now they on Instagram, you got Popular, you feel me?
Looks like chain link fence.
Yeah, chain link fence, right? So, but people thinking that they doing that because of the swipey, no swiping, backpack shit, right? But yeah, that's true. But on the underlying,
I remember saying
they know it's because of the rationing and the supply chain and the money, you know, inflation and all of that, man. So why do you think niggas is trying to steal shit?
Right.
Because of the fact that their money ain't got the same value as it did 10 years ago.
And that backpack shit I said too, that's literally a trend on TikTok.
Yeah, it
where
is.
people are talking about, you know, if these food prices going up like this, keep going up like this, I'm gonna be gabbing my backpack.
Yeah. Jake is in a position now where they gotta think: do I pay my rent or do I eat? Fine.
Do I pay my car notes so I can go to work? Or do I pay for the roof over my head?
Both. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
and
Jake's
it's tiring for niggas
for
for eating ramen noodles or, you know, and shit, and Manchurron and all that. They're tired of that shit. Jake like to live, you know, gesture and wax fat. You see what I mean? Yeah, you know. So
they gonna do something for something fancy.
Right, so we knowing, because end time headlines talk about get ready for $7 gas prices, man. And I Am Legend, when it came out 2003, they showed the fact that the gas prices was $6 and something cents, man. Imagine if the shit doubled, man. What y'all niggas would do, man? I'm already spending $80-something, $70, $80-something for a full tank every week. Every week, man.
Doing the same shit.
All right. So now, if I have to spend $140, $160 every week,
it's not gonna go. I mean, you gonna have people siphoning gas. You know what I'm saying?
Shit gonna get reckless out here, man.
Yeah. You gonna have all kinds.
Because remember, that's why they call it the petrodollar too.
You know how you said it in I Am Legend, right?
Yeah.
And they also showed you like how Superman and Batman versus Batman was coming out. Several other little things.
Little ones that they
right.
predictive programming.
But at the time, I remember because I believe I was either right out of high school or getting ready to be out of high school when that movie dropped. And what you just said, like $6 gas prices back in 2008, 2009, man, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like to think that, oh damn, I gotta pay, $6 to $7 at the pump. Like that would be insane to think. Like in 2008, 2009, you would be like literally, there'd be niggas running outside shaving their head balls, screaming and shit. Like, fuck this gas.
I mean, honestly, in 2008, niggas was ready to do that.
Right, but gas was like $2,
and it
bro.
hit $5 a gallon one time, bro.
Right.
Hey, bro,
And
Jake was crazy, bro.
Because I forgot the housing market crashed
That
too.
in the automobile.
Yeah, and the automobile shit crashed. That
So you
year.
had a lot of people lose basically a lot of shit.
True. A lot of people lost a lot of money in 2009. So
yeah, a lot of
that's true.
It was basically a Braxton Hicks of the market. Like, you know how these market wizards or whatever, they be talking about the market and the equity of all the shit and
right.
all the shit that goes on with the market.
Right.
But they even will tell you, man, the market is dead. Yeah. What happened in 2009 was basically like one of the last gurgles. You know what I'm saying?
It was like
when you losing breath and you like, it was one of the last one of those. You know what I'm saying?
The ones that usually would be like, oh, I'm not going to put up headlines that's going to get clickbait and all of that. They the ones now coming out like, yo, I'm not doing this for fear mongering, but it is what it is. The market
is dead.
You feel me? They going crazy.
And the crazy thing is, these are the same guys that have been, chronologically, basically recording their own downfall of their own people, man. You see, and they've been doing it since 2008. Dudes have been on YouTube talking about how the market is going to die. Now we're at the precipice of it actually happening. And this, on the sign, what the brothers have been teaching, all right, from the elder apostles on down, since 2008, since the unicorn went up and we were able to teach on YouTube, is coming, man. And it's coming down the pipeline, all right? And the images that you've been seeing, all right, for basically the last 16 years on the highways and the byways that we've been bringing it to you, okay, it is about to be put in place, man.
Right. And that's heavy you guys brought up that recession, because in 2008, the hardest hit place in America was Stockton, California, where you had like literally half of the town or neighborhoods where fucking the houses were empty, foreclosed because they were doing those subpar loans. Instacart with no education.
Yeah,
and even to this day now, it's still the most violent city in Cali right now, bro.
Stockton is wild.
Stockton is mainly wild, bro.
Because they would, just like you said, right, based on your income.
Stockton ain't no for no punks.
Yeah, that's why I joined.
That's like living in Richmond or living in Oakland or something.
I had no other choice living in Stockton. join the army, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so what's the name? But just like you said, you know, they've done documentaries since then. But they was given, just like you said, you know, Issachar, whatever, these loans, people that either didn't have no credit or bad credit score, but then giving them as money as if they're able to pay it back.
Right.
And they didn't. So they was buying all these
they
houses.
make like $13 an hour. You give them a loan for like a $500,000 crib.
Right. So that they can go buy big. So this is what created the housing bubble.
Right.
So now everybody that built houses is getting money and this and that and the third.
Right.
But eventually that bubble had to pop because nobody could pay back the dividends based on, I think it's called quantitative easing.
Right. Which I'm no expert in economics, man. But
Somebody commented and said, I'm in Stockton right now.
Shit.
Oh,
Hey,
word.
Man.
Hey.
You know, be safe. Hey, it's a year of mine. That's my uncle.
Yeah.
He still live there, bro.
Come
Man. Hey, man, Stockton is a rough town. Northern California is no joke. Yeah, that's my feeling, bro. Especially in that Bay Area, that whole general region. It's wild. But, Slovakia, that's a sign of the time. And like you were saying, like how they was doing that with the housing market, they was doing that with the cars as well. They was giving out loans to people for just like you wanted a new car, whatever you want. Yeah,
Jake in a Benz, but he's making fucking $12.50 an
right.
hour.
You can't afford that shit at all. Ain't no way you're gonna make them payments. You fall into debt. That's really how they kind of reboosted the market, quote unquote, was through debt. So when it corrects itself this time, it's gonna be a wrap.
But see, they bailed out because you had Merrill Lynch. There is no more Merrill Lynch. Niggas bought it. You know, your Goldman Sachs, this and that. They bail out, but they're not going to be able to bail out airlines and banks and shit like that.
Right.
And you can only manipulate
it's too much debt to sell off because that's what they were selling the debt to China, India,
and the numbers are so astronomical, bro. I mean, it's not like you can even. And what's the funny thing is, it's not the people who are making these decisions that are going to suffer from it.
No,
you see, it's you everyday Americans that are going to be held accountable from the rest of the world for this money. You see,
you shave your face on work for duty every day.
For you to even be like, yo, America's the country, my country. It's just like, really, bruh? Because they fucked over everybody. You see, and they really out here to do it to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
All right, because we be the main characters, but at the end of the day, they fucked the world,
like
man.
The brother, like the brother said, man. Yo, he has the scripture I say he has perpetual hatred towards Jacob.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a little bit of aggression.
That hatred is so deep though that he's willing to fuck over the majority of his own people.
The entirety of the
world. Just to fuck with Jacob.
Right. Like you ever heard of a Rolex with the Oyster Perpetual? You don't have to put a new battery in it. It just constantly.
Right.
Every time you put it on in movement,
just run forever.
Yeah, it's gonna run forever.
That
shows you. Right. It never dies, man. Until he dies. This is why Yahweh got it. Obadiah 18. You Edomites, man.
He was a Jake.
Obadiah 118.
With a suit, a bald face, and he's driving a car with Pioneer, like settlers plates. Only them Edomites really have plates like that in Colorado. Because most of the Jakes that, if you came out this way, like your family, they murdered your niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like you play with somebody else's heritage or something.
Damn, the brother said they got a gang out there in Stockton called EBK, Everybody Killer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
okay, I remember that. Yeah. Everybody kill them.
I mean, I mean, they in New York too. It's the same shit because you got when we was talking at Brothers or whatever about niggas is GDK. You feel me? But then niggas is like to the point they like nigga I'm whatever, but I'm Jack. If you could be in my same gang, nigga, I'm EBK. Like it's just a slogan. You feel me? Anybody can get it. Everybody killer. You feel me? Like nigga, you come at me wrong, boom, boom, boom. I don't care if you part of my same set. That's that love of many shall wax cold, man. Y'all are part of the same fucking Masonic gang shit, but yet you will kill your own brother, oath brother type shit.
Well, I evil towards his brother, man.
Exactly.
And you also have to understand too, the old gangsters, man. You know what I'm saying? The old gangsters, they have some type of code.
Yeah, so just read the first and the second page until you go down to page 20 or table 1. But it's on page 23.
I hit 18 real quick.
All right, good.
I'll be done.
So you want me to read the first page of it?
Yeah, just to give them an about, what it's about.
This is Revelation 13 and 18 to finish this up. And it reads, here is wisdom.
Right? So we remember the principal thing is what? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Well, that's Isaiah 33 and 6. But in Proverbs, for wisdom is the principal thing. With all thy getting, get understanding. Right? So if he said, here is wisdom, this is what we're supposed to pay attention to.
Right.
This is why the elders, you see what I'm saying, have been going into it for so much, man. Because when you go into the scriptures, you know, and in the Apocrypha as well, you got a whole book of the wisdom of Solomon, man. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead,
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of men.
Mm-hmm.
His number is 666.
Right. So look, as you can see right here, this barcode, man. All right. Before in the 1940s, you could go into a convenience store and they would have the price on it, and you just give them the money and they give you your change. See, the UPC code, Universal Pricing Code, was to make a record of how much inventory and stock is being sold. But see, underlyingly, you didn't know that this was just all research on how Americans spend their money, man, so that they could, enslave you on one, and then know how, like, engineer economically to get you to spend more money to keep this thing going.
It was connected to with Social Security and that tax system, being able to tax everybody, because people ignorantly get the idea that the Civil War was fought over slavery, which is incorrect. It was fought over the ability to tax everybody. You know what I'm saying? If you make, because you know what was a Negro? 1/5 of a person at the time, 3/5 of a person. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't count for very much.
Well, it's still at the same today.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But when you go into the Constitution and you really look into it, you're still 3/5 of a person.
And my point being that slaves weren't freed to be free.
Right.
They were freed to be taxed like everybody else.
Well, then you're still not free.
Right.
Because when you go into the word emancipation, the Emancipation Proclamation, to emancipate means to transfer from one to another. Right. So they just transferred property from your southern slave owners to your northern industry owners.
Right. So basically, you went from having personal
more slaves.
Right.
So you got to
make everybody a slave instead of just making.
That's why the Federal Reserve came out. That's why Social Security, the birth certificate.
You went from private slaves to public slaves.
That's what I was gonna say.
Basically.
So now everybody's.
You went to private household slaves, where you work in this plantation, this plot of land,
to public housing,
now
to Section
to
8,
public housing
projects.
You belong to the government.
If I was Mr. Candy prior to that, I was making untaxable income. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was making untaxable income. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not paying the United States government for any of my property.
And really, Mr. Candy, he was shitting on the North, bro. The North is like, well, fuck, I gotta pay all these motherfucking Edomites. I gotta pay these lowly Jakes. Yeah. Calvin Candy sitting there like, nigga, it's all me.
Yeah, Brad. Exactly. So when you really get down to it, Esau being the greatest, hustler and gangster of all time, they was willing to fight each other over this, because really this was a power struggle between man.
Yeah, well, look, house against house, if Satan be divided,
right.
Satan.
And it's honestly at the real bare root of it. It's really just the parties, bro.
Yeah.
It's the Democrats versus the Republicans.
And they switch
the names and shit like that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, what you really have is Edomites who want to preserve their legacy. You know what I'm saying? What they view as honorable conquering of the world.
Speaking of which,
the
Lord is spewing great dishonor on that honor in this moment.
Yeah, as your gold turneth to rust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and then you have the other Edomites who were about 8%, who are about, living their best life, but only them. Right. You see, nobody else invited to the club.
Well, see, they have a Masonic code that says, "Kill the few to save the many."
Right.
All right. So they're willing. See, everything is still understood through the scriptures, because they have
switches.
Yeah. Real Cali. I thought I was in Cali for a minute. LA, bro.
We have this guy that Michael Rodman. We see him every week. But he's got like 3 cars, and all 3 of them talking about some. He always come by talking about some.
He's
Hell
like,
yeah.
yo, orderly homes.
Hell yeah. But see, them type of Jake too, you know, Lord willing, those are the ones that gonna be coming, you know, in the truth. You feel me? The real hood. You see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, hood is called like damn, because I mean, y'all probably seen it. You know, the Issachar that basically was telling his own people that they was Issachar when he was having.
Hey, shalom, Maki.
I don't know if y'all seen it. The dude was tatted all up and all that, but he was sitting on the bleachers.
Well, they got a whole camp in Mexico now.
Yeah,
Like 10 or 12.
Yeah, they got a whole straight Spanish. Yeah,
straight Spanish.
And a lot of people don't even know that. Everybody in Mexico just ain't Issachar. You got a lot of Zebulon, a lot of people from El Salvador, Nicaragua, that they go up there. You see what I'm saying? Because shit real, you know, like niggas think like Mexico is fucked up in certain places, but you know, there's other places like
there's a lot of southern tribes
El Salvador
in
destroyed. Fuck, you see what I'm saying? Venezuela. So I'm just, you know, so and that's Asher. You know what I mean? Venezuela, Colombia, and Brazil.
Naftali's down there.
And there's a lot of you know, southern tribes too. A lot of Levi, a lot of Dominicans, a lot of
even like Judah and Benjamin, we always been like this. It's hard to tell.
No, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Levi.
Hell yeah, they be like, yo,
we always dwell together.
You know,
like,
that's
because you got to think about
dad,
it, and that's the beautiful thing about our people too, man.
Well, when you go into the scriptures,
a lot of Gadites
in the matter of fact, that you know, shorties all the time you that's Issachar. They is half Issachar, half Gad.
Yeah, you got a lot of
but
them.
and she would say it too. What's your ethnicity? All Mexican and Native Indian. And she was like Native American. So I knew what you meant, but you know, but hell yeah, because and it's funny because you know,
I know you got a booty.
Yeah, because but yeah, anyway, so let's get into the article real quick.
I had a set.
We'll bring up the set.
Get it back. Salaki, you know, just to throw some of that spewing at ease. This Habakkuk 2:16, and it reads, "Thou art filled with shame from glory. Drink thou also. Let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory." That was what we was kind of speaking about beforehand. With a lot of these, you know, with all of these things that he considered to be these great accomplishments and these great heroes and all these great things that these people had done. Realistically, man. You know, Malcolm did a video on it. I think it was earlier this week, about how they don't want to talk about, you know, what do they call it? Critical race theory in school, when really it should be critical race facts that they speak about.
Where the girl was like, "We don't want these kids to see their grandma throwing rocks at a 6-year-old little girl."
Exactly, and
but that's your fucking history, man. That's your history, bro.
That's that shameful spewing that they things that they was doing gloriously and with no, you know what I'm saying, like no thought to this being an evil act.
And that's a child mind state too, man.
And with boastful and really wicked intentions.
It really is.
They did these things.
You know, like when you catch a child doing something they're not supposed to do, they're gonna say 4 things before they tell you what actually happened.
You. And then finally,
you know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, I did it. Dad.
Right. You know, and that's man. You showing them the facts, and they trying to throw 4 different reasons and 4 different theories, or they use circumlocution, which is big words to talk in circles, man. You know what I'm saying? They use circumlocution to distance themselves from their own history, man.
Oh yeah, no.
Look, you did it, man.
Or you get them Edomites that'll, you know, they'll be one of them rape babies or the mothers of Bedouins, and they want to he always want to try to cling to his mother's heritage, especially when it starts coming out. You know, that his father or through the father,
because it is what you always father.
Exactly. And if this country is you know,
that's easy.
Gonna land back
he
on
always try to claim his mother first. Like, no, I'm Hispanic. You know, because my mom. Like, no.
But you see, this country tries to claim its righteousness through the scriptures, man.
You know, and even if she was a Bedouin, she laid down for master, man. I think you still a heathen. You still a Edomite. You still a whatever.
For the tribe of Amalek or whatever.
You got that article, bro? Go ahead. Break that up.
It says the challenge of human technology interaction and the data value chain.
See, so
trust.
No, yeah. So basically, this report is talking about Klaus Schwab, an Amalekite, is the figurehead for the World Economic Forum, right? So this is not the
Man, Keisha, fucking chop. Yeah.
this is
Child.
this is not the USA Economic Forum. This is the World Economic Forum. So they're having a forum on how the world is going to be run economically. All right, and it's talking about chain. When you hear chain, what do you think of? Blockchain, man.
Right.
Crypto, right? Go ahead,
It says introduction, the trust gap in data sharing. That's heavy, because they're trying to eliminate the possibility for hacking and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Man in the middle attacks.
Honestly, if you see something that you want to break down, you probably articulate it better than me because of your background.
Right. I'm gonna read first paragraph. Our days are filled with myriad discrete data collection moments even when we have genuine intent to affirmatively consent to each moment of data collection, it is particularly impossible to do so. No individual has time to provide affirmative consent on a near constant basis. This reality arguably undermines our individual agency.
So look at what they're trying to say. They're saying because of the world, consciously or subconsciously, that you don't know or do know, you're making so many transactions every second, all right. Without being consent, which they're saying that is not cool. You have to give consent, right? So we're going to advance technologically so that there's always 100% consent given digitally in the cloud with you in interacting with everything else. This is what you have called IOB, or Internet of Bodies. All right, this is what 5G is. It's the Internet of Living Bodies, meaning that instead of random nodes in the internet, it's actual living things that are the connector intermediary pieces to each other that make shit run. You are the blockchain.
Right.
All right,
and you put it in your body, man.
And so, like, simply put, to kind of make it in layman's terms, this is like, basically, if it was the opposite, you would have to give consent every time you want to turn on your internet data on your phone. You have to give consent. Do you want to receive these packets from the brother Yadazak, which is the text? You see what I'm saying? You'd have to consent to that.
Right.
As opposed to what it is now.
That makes sense. Right, because every time you get into they're saying that there's a small chance, potentiality, and there's liability to your secret data information to be exposed to somebody else.
Right.
And they're trying to figure out a way, which they already have the way, on to secure that through a secure network. And the only way that they can do that is if, instead of externally, what we're going to see is going to, we'll break it down. Because, and we're going to get eventually out, if you can get what's the Psalms, their tongue shall fall upon themselves.
Paragraph 2. The world is experiencing something of a mistrust pandemic when it comes to people's engagement with the data ecosystem. This global trust gap or trust deficit is a barrier to economic growth, digital innovation, and social cohesion. The technology ecosystem is ultimately powered by the collection, sharing, and processing of data, often personal in nature. Data sharing is a driver of innovation in technology and the digitization of mature economic models.
So it's a lot. So look, it's a data sharing. Y'all brothers might know, but probably me and Mac more, because we slightly older. But the original data sharing, which is still, it was probably around your time. I didn't get into it till later, but Napster.
Yeah.
Right?
Napster,
and then I was on Kazaa. Kazaa was first, after, then LimeWire, then FrostWire. All right, and then it kind of started to go into the stream and shit. Yeah, and all of that type of shit.
The government that was just took it over so that
because it wasn't only music. You was downloading porno.
Yeah.
Right. You feel me?
Fucking movies.
I mean,
that was
documents.
Part of my hustle.
Yeah,
I was all in
video
that.
games.
So look, they're saying to not trust because there's a barrier to economic growth. What do we just read in Revelation? No man shall buy or sell.
Right.
We, as the elect, Lord willing, is not going to trust, and we're that barrier that is not growing their fucking economy. So they got to get shit, and what they're going to do, send people into prison or kill them that don't take it, because you're barring the economic growth.
Which is bearing your cross, man. Because if you look at the CDC website, they already have it set up to where they talking about the green zones. Who are those green zones built for, man? You people who are going to act as that barrier, man, who are going to be that that person that doesn't,
the
you
shield
know,
approach.
put you in the system, man. Get that you know, stab and jab Ferrari kit along with the side piece, you know, in the hand or the head, you know, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you want me to hit this real quick, guy?
Well, I'll tell you when,
Come.
because when you get to page 23.
Okay, you want me to read the rest of these paragraphs, or just after this paragraph go to page 23?
Yeah, after that paragraph, go straight to page 2.
I got you.
Sake of time.
Got you. All right, paragraph 3. But trust between parties who seek to share or exchange data is not a default state. It is something that needs to be earned or built, often as a result of great effort over time. This includes building trust between people and technology. It is all
Right, so
the
gradually-
more
Technology's a person.
Right.
Right.
So gradually over
Important.
time is what they're saying, man. They're gonna do these
when
things in
considering
increments.
that people share data every time they interact with the technologies in their lives. Well, that makes sense because even corporations
Trying to get
do
away
what
from
the
this glare,
14th
man.
Amendment are
Sorry.
considered a person. See what I'm saying? So now, how much more, you know, something like the metaverse, man.
No, I made it worse.
You see what I'm saying?
The opposite
That's
way.
why you got
That's why you have digital. I saw a commercial ad on YouTube for digital real estate.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
There's
fuck?
Bro,
going
they
more. In the
want-
metaverse,
They want you to play
there's
the
land.
Sims.
There's land that's being sold for more
This is
bread.
Right,
Right
this is
now,
the mega
man.
Sims.
Yeah.
Nah,
The
facts.
Sims
Why do
in real life and shit.
If
people
they
don't
could
even
dub you down
know
to
that
speak
the
gibberish, they
Sims
probably would.
is one of the oldest games and one of the most grossing selling games that have
Of
never
all time.
even changed.
It's,
You see
And,
what I'm saying?
and there's dozens and dozens of versions of the Sims.
Yeah.
yeah, several.
You know,
DLCs.
people literally sit there all day
Well, that's
watching
what I mean,
other
DLCs.
people do shit. They have no interaction for real.
Right.
You feel me? They'll watch the nigga sleep. They watch the nigga fuck.
Go to work.
You know what I'm saying?
See, this type of shit make me mad on the
Right.
road because I saw the security nigga walk away from that side of the street to come over here to this side, and the fact that he's sitting over there,
Keisha again.
yeah,
Come on,
the
man.
fact that he's sitting over there though, like just fucking around, and they wouldn't let us teach over there, that shit makes me mad on the road.
Well, they rather have the homeless, no offense, sneak up the place
Right.
than have the truth come out and fucking tear this place down to the foolishness of reason.
And at the end of the day, they act like we standing in front of the actual entrance to the,
Yeah, to the building.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
That
what
we
they
fucking
tried
up their business. But this building has been closed.
That's dude right there.
That's not Luke
Yeah.
spoken into existence.
Called it.
Yo,
That's dude right there.
that's wild. That's the
That,
yeah.
that dude been showing us love since we first came out here. He stopped a few times and, you know, peep with the, but he always just do.
He got glasses.
Hey, well, the
Bro,
scriptures
he's
talk
the
about
ultimate
secret disciples.
drive-by.
because I think he works out at 24-hour fitness.
No, he does. Kind of swole little nigga with a ponytail.
Pony, and it be having, he had rubber bands around it like that,
Cut.
and it down straight to the
Yep.
back.
Yep.
He was bumping some old school Judah,
Yep.
like 1970 disco, and I'm like, yo,
Yo.
and he got swag,
He
bro.
got crazy.
Yeah,
feel
he's
me?
hella cool.
And I'm like, he work here short,
Well, the
dude.
whip is fly.
Nah, yeah,
He got
so
a couple of them.
that's how you
though,
know
like,
we the salt of
that's
the earth,
one-
bro.
That's
one.
a real Issachar, right?
He got
Sure.
he got that one. He got like a blue one and he got a green one. And he'll pull up. He's here all the time, but we ain't seen him in a while. But damn, Yada.
Nah, I love the people.
That's crazy, man.
That's what I love people, man.
But the brothers posted a precept, man. This is Ezekiel 28 and 3-5, and it says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Mhm.
There is no secret
Yeah.
that they can hide from thee."
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And Daniel was learned in all the Babylonian, and remember Babylon, really, when you go down into it, Sumeria, you know, was the forerunner for Egypt, man. All right, all the wisdom came out of Sumeria, Babylon, Mesopotamia. You know what I'm saying? So he was cunning in all wisdom, knowledge, understanding, you know, in the astrology type shit, all that type of shit. You feel me? They're wiser than Daniel. It's talking about Esau, Edom. You all right? So these fucking devils. I mean, when you think about it, bro, that you can literally make people and have be on a connected, like the shit that we do on the right hand side eventually with the spiritual power, will it be telekinesis, this and that and the third, they do on the left hand side, but the Most High gave it unto them. You see what I'm saying? To be able to, with this chip technology and everything, all this technology shit that you're seeing, just when you even look at their AI robots, all right, or their robo dogs.
And they've been shutting them down because they've been scared. The AI's been scaring the fuck out of them, having conversations in their own languages and shit.
Yeah, that you can't encrypt and shit.
Right.
That's deep. because you got to think like how we call each other on the phone in the kingdom.
Yeah.
On the left hand side, Lord willing, we're those men. You just be able to think a brother up and you chop it up. Like, hey, you want to meet up and go, whoop some ass real quick?
I could eat. You know what I'm saying?
They've been trying to normalize lately too, like the idea of them really like metalhead. Like metalhead is starting to become like a regular like household.
Like niggas want a dog like that.
Yeah. Which
You know what I'm
is crazy because if you watched,
remember we seen the commercial during the Super Bowl,
right?
With the car. No, was it the?
It was the
dog, the Audi, the little.
Oh,
yeah,
the robot dog and shit.
Yeah. But all that nonsense being said, the hell with Esau, man. Yeah. There's a limit to how far the Most High is gonna let you go. And like Yada said, I don't know if y'all remember this. They made an AI and gave it like a Facebook profile or a Twitter account.
And it was suicidal?
Yeah.
I had to do a study on that.
Basically, what its job was
the
to like
AI
collect
learns based
data.
off of what you feed it.
Yeah, exactly. It was to collect data from like social media.
This is also how they're going to make it easy for the AI and these robots to be racist.
Yeah, this was
they're going to show it like pictures of the 60s where niggas was getting bit up and shit.
This was like in 2012 that they did this, but they wound up shutting it down and taking it down because the AI came to the conclusion that Esau Edom was the sole problem. Was the sole problem on the planet Earth, and that his eradication was the only thing that could save like
life,
like that professor.
Right, and then after coming to that conclusion, and how it was basically utterly impossible to achieve that, the AI went suicidal. Like, I don't want to live. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to. So they shut it down.
And that's spiritual, because he came to the conclusion, not the suicidal part,
right,
but that Esau Edom got to go, which is basically the mindset and will of the Most High. You feel me? Right. Esau got to go. Well, the Most High set it up like that anyway. But that suicidal part is how a lot of Esau, especially at the bottom, is going to feel and going to act, bro. Yeah. Because, and really, that's how Jake be feeling in the depression mode. Right. Because they be like, damn, I'm at the bottom. I can't. The man got his foot on my neck. Right. That's how they were talking in the 60s. Man, the man got a foot on my neck, baby. Let me catch him in the back out of goddamn job.
But people,
I can't do shit out here.
And then they push depressive drugs like Percocet and things upon that.
Yeah, depressing.
Right.
Opioids, man.
Yeah, opioids.
Because look,
opioids. You know what I'm saying? So you got people.
That's why Jake and the Bay, they like to fuck uppers,
man. And that's why you got people bugging out. And that's the lull of the earth.
That let me feel good. Some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right now. And who would have thought that 10 years, 11 years later, that look, down south this little Edomite bitch is picking in the trash, bro. You know what I'm saying? She's probably home. And this happens every week. There's one of them out here every week.
Hot, bro,
yeah, that nigga
probably both, man.
But let's But do you have anything else?
Let me finish this precept, right? This verse 4, and it says, "With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure."
Now look at this. When I first came into the truth, this shit blew my mind, right? Esau had a concubine named I think it's Timnah or something like that, right? Which had Eliphaz, right? Eliphaz had Amalek. So Amalek is the grandson of Esau, and Amalek is the head tribe of all the Edomites.
Yep.
But Amalek's father is Eliphaz, which is Allah Yapaz. Allah's God, power. Yah, my, Paz is gold. My God is gold. Who runs the world through money and God and everything? The Amalekites. Who are the Amalekites? The so-called
and how did they get it,
man?
By blood and deceit.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why Amalek moved the way he do, because even his forefather going back before Amalek.
That's his name.
Right? Exactly. He worshiped. So his own father taught Amalek, this is what I worship. This is all it's about. And that's how they became the head tribe. And everywhere country they went, starting Mount Seir, going to the Caucasus Mountains. But when you read Arthur Koestler, the 13th tribe, every of the other Edomites that didn't know that they was Edomites, when Amalek came into that country, starting in Eastern Europe, going all the way to Western Europe, they was like, yeah, we'll help you out here, as far as the banking and shit, but found out they take over shit.
And that's the funny
thing.
They
destroy the economy, and then they move into the next country. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's
and in the ancient world, in the days of Rome,
coming over to America and
And it's
destroying
no
this shit.
coincidence because
Right.
on our dollar,
I was
what
just
does it
gonna say
say?
that's what
In
they
God
did.
we trust.
And they still
But
doing that.
we know His God is
Con.
gold. You know?
And they set up these financial institutes designed to fail after a certain amount of time. It's designed to, like, you know, basically be a quick star. You know how stars supposed to, you know, and NASA they say, you know, burns up and it blows
You know,
up.
what do they call? They call that.
But you know, that's what our you know, economic system is designed to do. It's designed to make a shit ton of money, put you into a shit ton of debt, and then blow up.
What do they call that when you
A supernova.
Right.
Yeah, like a supernova. There's a term for it, like in the wrestling business too. It's called like you want to get the payout, right? But when you know, like for Stone Cold, for instance, they fed you so much Stone Cold to the point now nobody can ever be
Better than him.
better than that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can ever get pushed to that level. So they burnt that out forever. Which now they got to do even more ridiculous shit to try and.
But see that even
Match
that term burn out goes back to the star, going back to Revelation to the idols being lesser luminaries, the stars falling from earth and shit, because you boost them up, and then they get burnt out. You see what I'm saying? And then they turn drug addicts, this and that, and the third, and we move on to the next, making a star. That's
Right.
American Idol.
Right.
Lil Wayne couldn't miss in 2006.
Right. Yeah.
Now,
Man, if you had a
Now
Lil
he
Wayne,
burnt out.
man, if you was a
Who
rapper
remembers Lil Wayne now?
and someone gave you a call and was like, look, nigga,
But what's
Wayne
the-
on your beat.
Yeah.
You know, it was a whole drama show. You know, he was like, damn, Wayne on my
The
beat.
most
That ain't even my song no more. Damn.
right.
Yo,
You know?
But and then it goes to show you too, man. You know how the scripture says ain't nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Man, what's the most popular type of flicks now? Nostalgia shit. Like I just seen the preview for the new Elvis movie. Man, that movie looks like it's gonna be fire,
Same thing with the
right?
how the Lakers with Magic.
Yeah, with
Johnson.
Magic. But they want to just get like, let's go relive all these glory times. Look at all this great shit we did in the past.
And you know, the funny thing is too,
You know,
it's a catch 100 with that, because they came out with a movie called the last Duel, which was directed by the dude that does Alien. What's his name?
Ridley,
Steven Spielberg.
Ridley something.
Ridley
yeah.
Scott.
Yeah, Ridley Scott.
That's
This
the Alien series.
this super, you know, proclaimed director who
Yeah.
who knows the scriptures, man, because all his movies have very, very deep elements in them. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. But it's a historical drama, right? Based on these, you know, on this event that happens between these two guys and a rape and a bitch, and they fight about it. But it was like really a great movie. Like I watched it and it was just one of those it was almost like The Patriot, like one of those hard to watch
Right.
but great
Hey,
movies.
Patriot goes hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
but-
although he learned all
You know,
that
like
from
as
dad, but-
good as you know what you know how Patriot is and how good I know that movie is.
Yeah.
People gave this movie like the most toilet reviews ever, because it's not like the Avengers. It's not, you know,
Instant gratification.
instant gratification. It's
Right.
a lot of story building, character development, and then like one fight at the end. So you're like, people were all like, "Ugh, blah, 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 blah," you know, but
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Well, hey, Snowpiercer got a boo-boo rating
right.
because and it happens.
Anyway,
Bushwick did too.
Let me finish this real quick, and y'all brothers can continue. This is verse 5, and it says, "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic host thou increase thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy
who's
riches."
the traffic? A merchant. Who's the merchant? You international banking families, man. The stockbrokers.
Mhm.
So, see what I'm
Wall
saying?
Street.
You go to Wall Street, half of those people are cousins and nephews of niggas that run shit, and they don't know shit, but they put them in a high position, and they making millions by just ordering people to do shit like Wolf on Wall Street.
Man, just telling people to invest in
They wanted
pencils,
to
man.
save
You know what I'm saying?
synagogue and
Give me your
Yeah,
money.
you know what I mean?
These pencils are gonna fly off the
So-called
shelves.
synagogue,
Them pencils go to the dollar store, never get sold. Then people lose, you know, $4,000, and it goes straight to dude's
What's
pocket. You know.
Is it in Deuteronomy where it says, "Thou shalt be the borrower and never the lender,"
Yeah.
so to speak? And we're in that position, man.
And in the case though, we're going to be the lender and they're going to be the borrower, man. We're going to be lending out, you feel me? Because we supposed to be giving usury or tax or interest to the heathen, not to our brothers, man. That shit is wicked, bro. When
Right.
you get something and it's your own brother, let's just say on some worldly shit, whether it's selling weed or some shit. Oh, I know I can get over on this nigga. Yeah, I'm going to sell this $8 for $80 or some dumb shit. And he'll going to buy it, you know, when it's really, oh, it ain't worth it. That's evil, my nigga.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's a false balance. You know what I mean? And that's worldly, you know, slacking for the bad example. You see what I'm saying? But
But it's anything. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, I got an Xbox
And how they doing it right now is the rental prices.
Right.
Is the price for food.
Right.
You know, how you gonna destroy all the food and then be like, right after you destroy it, be like, you know what I'm gonna do now? These apples ain't no longer $1 apple or $1 an apple. They $7.
Right.
Nigga.
Right.
But nigga, didn't you just burn and throw out and cash out like,
Well,
you know, 100,000 of them?
I was hoping.
Yeah, but now there's less and it's rare now. You know what I'm saying?
Let me hit this real quick. This is
Con, that's how you know you're dealing with a demon, man. I gonna throw all the food out and then be like, oh no, food crisis.
God. This is the book of Sirach, because Esau, Edom does that control to chaos tactic.
Yup.
Where they create and manifest issues.
Another Masonic
Right.
slogan, man.
They create problems and then show up and try to play the hero.
And that's why they put themselves in the temple of,
So
of
like
the Most High, showing themselves to be the Savior.
Said,
man.
when the food crisis hits and all these things happen and they roll NATO out into the streets and FEMA come, they're going to present all this like, look, we have all this food. Bitch, we know you have the food. You had it in the first place.
Exactly.
You done set up a damn perfect
But
fish.
just
You just raised the prices.
Right.
You didn't buy the shit.
But just like in Hurricane Harvey, when it destroyed Houston and shit, and Joel Osteen didn't let nobody in his fucking mega church or whatever.
Yeah, fuck that.
But
This is a stadium.
Yes, it was the old stadium and shit. But I remember this was right when I in the beginning of the truth as well.
Right.
You feel me? There was a homeless Edomite veteran on the floor, and it was either Fox News or something important. Why are you not going? And not Joel Osteen stadium, but one of the Walmarts or some shit like that. Nah, they killing people in there. Out of there, and the dude was looking at him, and he told the dude to cut off the feed. You see what I'm saying? Because if you go to these Walmarts, which is going to be in effect a national emergency when this shit happens, and martial laws
They're
in
going to be
effect
staging centers for FEMA, because all Walmarts are by major highways and or railroad tracks, or are accessible by water, or accessible by and they all are like
they have underneath
one way
as well.
in, one
Every
way
Walmart's
out.
connected underground.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
One way in, one way out.
And as a former employee, and employees will tell you that work there to this day, all kinds of weird shit be happening around you when you work. All kinds of random people be coming into the building you ain't never seen before, and they're in the back walking around looking at shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And there is places that you cannot get to in the back, which leads me to believe those are places you go beneath. You know what I'm saying?
I remember some years back, the brother Gar,
Like
That's a little
like
process.
Salakia,
Yeah.
you know some elevators it's got an extra button, but you need a key to turn it in order to go to. You can press the button all day.
It ain't gonna go down.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
I remember
shit. It could be biometric.
Right.
It could be anything, bro.
I remember some years back, the brother Gar had told me, or at least we just in conversation was talking. Might have been at camp, but he basically made mention that he's an electrician. I think we were at the Passover when he made mention of this. And he's an electrician. The brother Gar up with the Devil camp. Shalom, the brothers up there. The brother was basically saying they was building like showers and cells inside of Walmart, and he was like, one of the guys asked a question or something when they never saw the dude again, or something along those lines. But he was like, we was basically building cells in Walmart, flat out.
Hey man, when you've built a certain amount of things, you know what the fuck you building.
Yeah, you know what you're building.
And they probably got caught up with that shit, and now they're only using people with clearance and shit.
Right.
The Army Corps of Engineers.
Well, yeah, because they ask you them crazy types of questions.
If you know anything about the Army Corps of Engineers, that's the devil, bro.
Right.
Those are the motherfuckers that weakened the levee during fucking Katrina.
Right. So Salaki, man, let me hit this.
Probably the dudes that painted the little blasting things on the towers too.
Yeah. Well, they said that was the
little termite blasters.
And at
the melters of metal.
They said it was the team.
It's thermite.
Stole the toilet paper, bro. Damn, that's a lot of bullshit. What you call it? So at the time, people, fuck them. These
hey man, they're gonna be ready for the ends better than most
forces unit or whatever at the time of
they're still gonna get
their version of the CIA. It's called ISIS, and allegedly, if you watch all the little videos, they say it was a team of 4 or 5 that rigged the shit for the World Trade Center. But
when I seen it, said it was an Israeli Army fucking SF dude who was an expert, a demolition expert. Yeah,
it's
from the Mossad, and They know this because he was like on a plane and shit, and he was talking to some guy
Yeah,
that
man.
did like a YouTube video.
Right,
Well, I remember back then. This is before I was even in the truth. Watching World Star Hip Hop.
Right.
They posted Pop Test, right?
And Papoose is hard, bro.
Hey, economics.
He was doing an interview, and they was talking about New York and the World Trade, and he was like, "Yo, I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm gonna say this. You know, there was 800 people that called a sick day or didn't come to work.
These niggas better
on
not try to jump out the
9/11, and
van
they
on
all
me, dog.
related to each other.
Oh, I thought they were all Amalek or something.
They was. That's
was.
what he couldn't say Jew because he knows what's up.
Oh yeah,
hip hop.
Yeah, right. Smoke.
You see what I'm saying? Because if he say that, oh yeah, you know. So even you know
that's heavy. But then there's a surrounding that whole thing. Building 47 came down for no reason.
Yeah,
the
In
guy
the middle
who
of the broadcast and shit.
the guy who survived it was never seen or heard of again. After giving an interview on national television.
Some of the so-called heroes of the day who were in there, who were like, "Yo, I was in there and I heard explosions."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All those dudes have died and gotten killed in weird ways.
So,
They all gone.
Let me
They
break
all
this
gone.
out real quick. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verses 8. All right, and it reads, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit,
Right.
the kingdom is translated from one
So
evil to
that's the
another."
precept got by deceit with Ezekiel.
Yeah, but what we would just hit.
Yeah, perfectly precept with each other. You feel me? So then look, then you have to ask questions, right? So if the people that are wiser than Daniel and got riches by deceit are also there's people that a kingdom is going to be translated because their riches got by deceit. That means somebody is in rulership in a kingdom to this day.
Then you go to
And it
Genesis
goes to ask you that
27
question
and
in
then Job
Job
9:24.
Exactly. Job 9 and 24.
And then Genesis 27, who would be in dominion, man? Who would have the
world
fatness?
is
And
given
it ain't JPEG for all you other bugged out Israelites
Oh,
out there.
man.
All right?
Yeah, it definitely ain't the melon heads,
Listen,
man.
them melon heads that are scattered everywhere at the current moment in the Fiji Isles and Samoa and what's the other
Right,
one?
GOCC,
New
they're not the
Zealand,
tribe
yeah.
of Naphtali, man.
Yes.
Oh,
Listen,
man.
they are not Esau, Edom, and they not running.
They the only camp that have a different
Sign than us.
sign.
Yeah.
And the
They're crazy,
only camp that call on Ahaya. And Ahaya Basham Yashaya.
Hey,
Which all you saying is that I am in the name of my Savior.
and you niggas, I'm gonna be honest.
Translated.
You niggas is some Judases, man. And you taking silver to lead the people astray, and the Most High gonna kill you.
Man,
for
basically,
that,
you
man.
just the get along gang, man.
Right.
You
Get along
the
gang.
get along gang, man.
Most High gonna
You
kill
wanna
niggas for
walk
lying
hand
on
in
the
hand
scripture, man.
with the heathen, man. Be
They
my guest.
They using the book of Jude to say, oh, the book of Enoch is true. Bullshit.
And that's why y'all looking for mermaids to this day, man.
Listen,
You know, next.
this,
You know what I'm saying? Straight
two
up.
verses for these dumb for y'all, real quick. All right, it's at the end of the book, Revelation chapter 22, and Salakia, and it reads, "For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecies, Salakia, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. He which testify these things saith, surely I come quickly, Aman, even so come Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and the grace of our Mashiach Yahweh Shai be with you all, Aman."
So that's a warning to Jake, because he said the holy city.
Khan, and it said 2 times, it said testify.
Right.
Now the testimony of Yahweh Shah is what? The spirit of prophecy, man.
That's right.
Yep. So
Why,
you niggas wanna
and
look
what
for-
does prophecy have to do?
Right.
He can't do anything to circumnavigate.
So how you going to try to add Esau? Well, Esau's just going to be handmaids in the kingdom, and you know they're going to be saved,
or worker bees just like us here.
Yeah, come
Shut
on,
the fuck
man.
up, bro.
Niggas going to be
So
sticking our foot up their
So
ass.
they don't have to pay for what the sins of their father, what they did back then.
It's completely
all the
contrary.
lynchings,
Look,
all the rapes,
does not the
all
scripture say,
separation of family? Come
you know,
on,
I change not? I am the Lord, I change not.
Right.
So you making a whole contradiction when there's no contradiction, man.
The Lord
You
said he
leading
gonna
the
put
people
the
astray.
curses on you, man. You
and you're gonna be put to death, man.
And he says it numerous times.
Right. And matter of fact, I hope you in a
lake.
lake, man, and I hope a mermaid really come eat your ass, man.
Right.
I hope a Syrian,
A siren.
right,
right,
come
right.
up out the
Siren.
lake and eat your ass,
They,
man.
they seduce you nicely. You be like, damn, this
Right.
is pretty. Oh shit, she got a tail. Like,
Oh,
shit, she got eyes.
She got teeth.
Hey, that
She got
happened in Pirates of the Caribbean, I think.
Yeah, facts.
Hey,
You know, in the little muddy waters that they in order to get to the
I
one
hope that
little
happens
place.
to
or
You
whatever.
know, and look, man, in the day of the Lord is gonna be constructing
Like
all
your prophet
kinds
said,
of
if you're still
crazy.
using the word
you know-
Christ or got Christ in your title,
Right.
this and that. You know that's
done,
be a
man.
red flag to you Israelites. Man.
Yeah, that's
Right?
facts. And a lot of you Israelite camps got the red flag, man. If you're not teaching the truth, all right, that was taught into our elders down, you know, that teach what you taught, or teach what you was taught, man, from the elder apostles on down in this one body in Hamashiach, man, pushing the truth and sincerity to the four corners of the earth, to the speckled birds, to those that fit that prophecy, all right, to those that look like Israelites and those that look like Israelite foreigners, all right, to the true host, man, of the sheep. If you ain't teaching this truth, man, then hey, you ain't on the right team,
Well,
man.
you're not doing a reasonable service.
Con.
And we just did a video.
This is the reason we're alive.
This is why we desire to serve the Most High. We might even have to get that. You feel me? But that was Sirach 23, I want to say. But we'll finish that up, and then
Con, I
when
got a
you finish
precept for you.
that tongue shall fall upon themselves, and then we could.
All right, so I'm just reading the digital ID now, evolution, and future.
Exactly.
All right, I got you guys. This is about the digital ID.
So peep this, Akim.
It's consent. Traditional intermediaries and users consent, i.e., or web browsers, apps, mobile devices. Evolution. Shift control to user. Personal data stores on device, data storage, and more advanced data intermediaries.
Before you get to break those two down real quick and your understanding, because like I said, you articulated better. So basically, elaborate on what it was now, what it's going to evolve to.
Okay, so like now, digital consent meaning like, so when you hop on a, like it says a web browser or mobile apps, it'll be like, do we have permission to look at your contacts? To
Cookies.
look at your, yeah.
What do you?
That's what I was going to next on the web browser. Do you accept our cookies? Yeah, exactly.
Or are you?
And them
And
cookies-
this is the thing
and
about
them cookies represent
even though you say
crumbs.
No, your web browser will store cookies, and that's why I prefer using Firefox, because it will store cookies regardless, because it makes it easier for your computer, your IP address, to route to that website again.
To
And
connect back.
to get in easier and faster, because it's going to have to jump to another random server. You see what I'm saying?
And who has access to like your cookies, so to speak?
Your internet service provider.
So they do.
So
that.
that's why the dark
So-
web, the Onion browser, it doesn't work, because your ISP is still going to see.
So
hey,
like
you got
with
on
your-
Tor browser.
So my question is like with
Yeah,
your
that
with your
makes sense.
phone.
That
So
makes
say you with your
Hey,
phone.
nigga, you on private,
That's
but you
what
ain't on
that's what-
private.
That's why the Fed,
Yeah,
the
the
laughing
onions,
niggas, bro.
and
Yeah.
with the torrent,
Right.
you buying all types of shit on the Silk Road using Bitcoin to buy.
Hey, that
your
WhatsApp for you
fulls
drug
and your
dealers.
SSNs.
Hey, that WhatsApp for you drug dealers, your phone automatically comes with a key locker. So it doesn't matter. As soon as you get on WhatsApp, it doesn't see the message, but it reads the keys.
Right. So
Damn.
at the end of the day, that's why it's always listen. You trying to play? I'm just using this Salakia for the tangent right
Words
now.
yelled on,
But
man. You don't beat
because
the
of
game.
a
The game
former-
beats you.
A former ex, you see what I'm saying, which I'm not proud of doing that dumb shit that I went to prison for and all of that. You see, there's two routes, man. If you haven't yet went to prison, Esau is just holding you off until you get to a certain tax bracket,
Right.
so that we can reap the most benefits, man.
Yeah.
And while you're helping destroy your own community.
And the
And
funny
like
thing
you
too,
said-
the drug game's kind of like the rap game.
Right.
You know, a
If you
lot of
play ball,
rappers
That's
will
a
tell
lyric.
you.
They
No.
say that
If-
drug game.
If you play ball,
You know,
if you play
Instead of
ball,
selling a brick, 16 for cost for a brick or some shit.
right? If you play
Yeah,
ball,
Jeezy
because
tell you
think about it, the average, if we was to go hit the block right now, you start moving this and that and make some money, whatever, we're not doing that nigga shit. But if you was to go do that now,
Right.
basically, see, they don't mind catching the little ones and just tossing you in the slammer. And if you play ball, you get to be Pablo Escobar. Then see, that's the thing niggas don't understand. You aspire to be, I'm trying to be, I want to be Big Meech. Nigga, you ain't gonna never be Big Meech.
like we talked
Big
about
Meech,
last
let's
week,
be
man.
real. You ain't
He
got
got
You know what I'm
burnt.
saying?
He worked for the CIA and he got burnt by the CIA.
That's what all of these big time major drug dealers, they were all in the pocket of the CIA.
Right.
They was
The
paying them protection.
DEA.
These niggas,
Yup.
Right.
And then when you get that big head, the pride, it's in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Pride goes before a fall. There's so much money. What did it say in Proverbs? That, Lord, pray not that I make so much that I forget thy law, but don't give me not enough that I have to go steal and shit. Yeah. They made so much bread that they forgot all about the Most High. A lot of these remember, they have a connection with the Most High, but when they get so much, they like, nigga, I'm untouchable. That's why they used to call Nicky Bond Mr. He felt he was making $1 million a day over heroin.
Right. Fucking
they all work.
Yeah. Where all the niggas wind up.
Muggsy Bogues and shit. Bumpy Johnson, Bumpy Siegel.
They had a whole series on the History Channel about this drug dealing.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. You get to a certain spot, you know what I'm saying, and like Isaiah Rashad's gay ass, you know what I'm saying. When you get to that certain spot, you doing something, giving up some kind of form of action payment that's not money to these dudes at the top, man. And they're always
when you learn how Esau's government works, you don't ever want to be the man on the top, because this is what happens. When it gets too big and white people start asking questions, you're just the scapegoat. You're the fall guy, bro.
Right.
So you don't want to ever be the head of the organization.
And you ain't gonna have no backup.
Be in that shit, you want to be number 2 or number 3.
Because you next up. You know what I'm saying? Or, but I don't know, that's an unsafe spot too. You might be first to go. You know what I'm saying? It's either you gonna get bent over, or you gonna be bent over.
But see, this is why in the Matrix they said, do you want to know how deep the rabbit hole go, bro? Right. Because you could think number 2 don't know as much as number 1. Number 2 think he know it, but there's meetings that number 1 have with the board,
with the CIA,
the deep state back then.
Yeah.
But then even a part of that deep state, there's another. They think that they the underground niggas running shit, but behind
it keeps on going
deeper and deeper and deeper,
bro. To the Rothschilds, and they out here fucking in a pentagram,
doing worshiping. You feel me?
It's possible.
I don't know how true that.
Appear in front of these niggas and be like, okay,
man. Let me give a quick testimony on that, man. Because I watched a video maybe about 3 years ago, and it was about MK. It was about MKL Ultra. The MK Ultra. Shit. CIA. And this dude was basically having,
that makes sense,
and it was a rich Edomite guy.
Satanists that pray to the devil.
Right, and it was a rich Edomite guy, and he was at a church. He was at a Baptist church's, like a really rich Baptist church's like banquet or some shit. And it was a bunch of Amalekians and things of that nature at the banquet. So basically, this dude has this conversation with this super high-ranked Amalekian dude's daughter. To the point where she doesn't even give her father's name. Yeah. She's like, look, I'm the daughter of so and so. He's up here, and I'm important. Right. She starts talking to this dude about MLK Ultra and whatnot. She's basically saying that they got like sleeper agents that all the fuck over. You know this conversation?
Yeah.
No, it's the dude talking about conversation with the lady.
Okay.
And she basically is telling them, it's your celebrities, it's your news anchors, it's your rappers, it's your your politicians. These are all MK Ultra agents or whatever. Yeah. And she basically breaks it down to the point where she's like, I'm from an organization to where there's 12 heads on the left hand side.
All of them. I heard
right.
12 or whatever.
Right. There's like some kind of wicked shit going on. It's some real demonic shit. Yeah. And she's talking about
but the blonde hair is supposed to be a symbol to those in the know of MK Ultra, one that have handlers and all that type of shit. Program. Chris Brown, Kanye West, any other rapper and all that.
Lil Drewski,
all of them. Anybody,
Drewski,
that has blonded their hair once they got to a certain tax bracket. You see what I'm saying? They was on the MK Ultra.
Eve, bro. Eve was with a whole Edomite. She just had an Edomite.
Yeah, but go ahead. So basically, she's conversating with this dude, and he's asking her questions. Like simple questions, like where you at, like where you from, stuff like that. She said when she was 13 or like 12 years old, somewhere around there, she was brought to this city, basically like this whole city under London. To where she was brought to the catacombs and things of that nature to a room.
You know where they show you that? In the game, Salakia. London's underground is crazy.
Yeah.
And they show you that in the game Assassin's Creed, the one where it's like in
the only one I ain't played is like Brotherhood, right?
No, it's called something else.
Unity.
Because he basically builds a crowd.
And in Unity too, you can get under there and run through
in Unity they show you a lot of the underground
catacombs and shit.
Same shit with the Vatican.
Yeah.
Same shit with DC. But even in LA,
so basically what she said is for like 12 centuries there's been 12 like heads of Eve, basically, like the head of Amalek. And he basically sits upon a throne under London, supposedly.
Oh yeah. No, that's where like the headquarters. Rothschild's main headquarters is
because
in
they
London.
they want to
Right.
say that they of the
It
house
fucked
of
me up
David.
when I watched this. I was like,
I
this shit
watched
is heavy.
like people that explore abandoned shit, and this
Yeah.
guy he did like an interview.
That
He got
Asian dude.
arrested. Yeah, he got arrested over in London.
The
'cause
funny Asian dude
he
that was
went
talking
through,
to
like,
Joe
these,
Rogan
like,
about it.
communications tunnels and shit with like the wirings and shit, and then he found like some secret ass shit and got arrested, bro. And they took his passport. He had to get a lawyer, all while he's from the U.S. and shit, so he doesn't really have the same rights. And bro, he had to fight hella hard, bro, just
Yeah,
to get his passport
it's
back.
that funny
He's like, I'm
Asian
never
dude,
going back
that
to
same
London
one that
ever
has the
again.
blonde hair too. He's gone to the Amazon to look for dinosaurs and shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That dude.
Well, remember, it's one of the 3 unclean frogs in Revelation. London, Vatican, and Langley.
Yep.
Well,
Because Babylon the Great spews out of it.
Yep. So like she's talking,
You
and
know it's
basically
gotta be
she goes to this room where there's 11 dead motherfuckers, 11 dead Amalekians sitting on thrones, and on the 12th throne, which is supposed to be quote unquote the end of the world, the last throne.
I think that's
You know what I'm saying? Is sitting the ruler now.
The werewolves and the vampires and how
That's
they
some weird
put the
Esau
blood
shit.
in
Right.
it,
You
and
would
then
have to
he
sit
came
next
back
to
life.
11 dead
That
motherfuckers.
was
They got
the kings.
All the old, basically all the old rulers of the world at the time, who ruled the world from secret.
Underworld, yeah.
You know how-
Look,
how,
he's talking about the underworld.
Ephesians 6 and
I
6,
think- I
which
think
goes
they-
back to the three triad of Rome. You know what I'm saying?
The triumphant.
The three triumphant of Rome, and the families that came into the understanding of the reincarnation were teaching their sons.
Caesar and
You know,
Caligula.
we're gonna come back to the spirit, keep this shit
Yeah,
going
so
like
they
this.
knew it from the left hand side,
Right.
And then
The pride of the heart has the same thing, nigga.
hence why Poseidon's tool is the trident, the trident, which is the 3.
Like what you
thing.
see on the Maserati.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it was the 11th throne.
Yeah.
It was the 11th throne, and this
Oh,
girl was supposed to. Salaki, this is the kicker. So there was a dude in the 11th throne. This girl was 13 years old and had intercourse with this man to produce what would be the 12th. You know, and this
So
and
look,
she
they're
said that
trying
her
to-
son would be like 20 at the time that
She
she
was
had this
probably
conversation.
a virgin, right? So
Right.
See, they use the scriptures on the evil left hand side.
Yep.
You see what I'm
She was
saying?
like, they brought me to this room with, and all she's wearing like all white or all black, something like that. She said.
black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she
Shit.
basically,
Opposites, because we're gonna be close. The white boys
and she
gonna
said
be
that they
there.
brought sacrifices with them as well. So like they killed the sacrifices. She's laying in like this little pool of a half circle of blood, or like a thing of blood, and they're supposed to do, and then the child is born to sit upon the throne for the next,
Yeah, that's sex magic incorporated with
quote
blood.
unquote, however
The
long
witches
that first nigga
like
lives,
to
he'll
do that
die.
wicked shit,
The
too.
next nigga steps up when he's of age to be the next wicked ruler of the world, or whatever.
You saw God go.
But that's basically what she said. And she says, in his reign,
See, Christians
he's gonna activate
look at that as
all
like
of the
Antichrist.
Incray. You know, when these things happen,
Yeah.
they're not only gonna have their UN army, they're gonna have their active MLK Ultra agents and armies and
like
families.
the Manchurian Candidate.
Right, and they said it's a call.
Manchurian Candidate.
It's kind of like the Division. I don't know if you
And if you-
have you brothers ever, like the Division,
Watch it,
dudes with this family in the
That's what dude cut out of him. Remember? It was
in the
his
trailer,
shoulder.
you see it, like the dude's walking around
Straight
with
up
his kid and
RFID
stuff, and they all get this call. It's on their wristwatch, and it, like the wristwatch grows orange, and it's like the division has been activated.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you've
they're
been
this agent's
commissioned.
Active. So
You know what I'm
basically,
saying?
we was at the crib playing the game, drinking beers, and we both get the call, and we look at each other, grab the guns, and just head out.
And you walk,
drop
like,
everything, like
you know what I'm saying?
They
Leave
just
your kid,
walked out
leave
the
whatever you
crib,
need
slung
because
the
you've been
I
activated.
mean, and
Yep.
the Simpsons have done episodes on it. South Park, where they'll get the phone call, they'll be like,
They'll
the
say
sky
whatever
is
your code
orange.
word is.
and niggas be like, what? All right, I'm out.
Well, they did that in your Marvel with the Nazi nigga
Winter Soldier.
with the German shit. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, boom, you automatically, and there's no turning them off. He just
Right.
straight
just
berserk.
straight
He's a
whole
killer,
separate
yeah.
person.
Yeah, and
Inside-
that's what
inside
MK Ultra. You feel me? Is just subconscious psychological magic, which is a technology in order to brainwash them to do a certain thing on command
Yeah.
at a certain time.
And they started it with lobotomy in Psycho, wards
That's
and
why-
shit like
this
that.
is-
That's where they
it makes
started
me
the.
think
This
of,
is-
like,
That's where they started
This
the.
is where LSD.
That's
and
where
all
they
that
started
and
that for.
DMT came out. They was using they got
Psychosomatics,
this,
man.
they're high botanists and they're high chemists to make certain, because even methamphetamine, because when they were seeing how the Japanese supposedly was able to make kamikazes, people to kill themselves in planes, you feel me, and they was finding out they was on meth and shit.
The Germans
That's why the
was-
You know what I'm
scripture say
saying?
beat out sober,
They said
man.
the Germans was eating candies with methamphetamine to, get like to do
Well,
crazy shit.
if you look it up, man, there's a drug. It's like something with at the A. It's the main drug in Adderall. It's also the main drug in meth, which is an alertness drug. And it's also like you lose feeling.
Right.
So you're hella alert and you lose feeling. So you're like, fuck it, I'm about to take out this missile thing that's fucking up all my people.
It's not amphetamine.
You crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Amphetamine.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Amphetamine.
They were trying to make super soldiers essentially, but you know. But it didn't work out the way they thought.
The British SAS, they also used acid on their soldiers to see if they could actually withstand it. But like these motherfuckers was like hugging each other, just sitting down, drinking their fucking canteens and laughing, bro.
Yeah. So look, when we put this all together, this is why the scriptures say Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like has never happened on this earth before. Rough paraphrasing, man. A bunch of sleeper cells going to wake up. You're going to have all type of drones. You're going to have zombies. You're going to have cannibalism. You're gonna have rape fucking marauders. Right. All right. This is gonna be just. There's just gonna be 40 niggas.
I'm gonna call them the carnal marauders, bro, because they'll come, they'll rape you, your woman. They'll take your butthole and then fucking cut your head off and eat you. You know. And I just watched the Book of Eli the other day, and that opening scene, man, is so cold when he walking in that girl. Oh my God, and he's just like, he doesn't even look at her. Yeah. He's looking around. You know what I'm saying? He was like, you know. One thing about thieves, you can smell them a mile away. You know what I'm saying?
You niggas stink.
He was like, I'm impressed. You know, Esau, you can smell me right now.
Yeah, you're a bitch. You don't take no showers. You eat shit.
Right.
Fucking lay in the ground.
And then he kills them all. And then you know, he cuts off the dude's head. And he's like, kiss him. What are you waiting for? And he was like, they're all standing around like, what? He was like, he backs into the shadow all cold. You know, Book Eli. He was like, I think you meant kill him. He's in shock, you know. Yeah. And they come into the little shadow, get slain. And then when he goes and talks to the woman, he says, you know, the point, which is, you know, she's like, you know, what were you guys gonna do to me? She was like, we was gonna kill you and eat you. You know, she's begging him for mercy. You know, like, please don't kill me. He was like, well, what were you gonna do to me? Kill you and eat you. That's what people are gonna be on, man.
Yeah. And this is why.
And he leaves her live better than me. I was
wisdom and knowledge. If you have no wisdom and knowledge, you're gonna lose your shit. Meaning. Your mental health's gonna be so fucked up, you're gonna go crazy.
Yeah, people just don't understand, man. They ain't been hungry.
It's really gonna be from the Most High because it said in the verses, Deuteronomy 28, the Lord shall smite you with madness and astonishment of heart. You're gonna be so astonished in the mind. Remember, heart is the mind, and so smitten with madness when Jacob's trouble come.
You ain't gonna know what to do, man.
That's right.
And that's why the scriptures also say that there will be those that look for death and will not be able to find it, man. You're gonna be having dudes running around the street really talk about some kill me, please. Kill me.
You'll be walking around them niggas like, watch
hey,
excuse me,
nigga. He's gonna use Esau to smite people with madness because Esau has that active denial system we talked about.
Oh yeah.
These radio frequency weapons, bro.
Nah, straight up. But see, so watch how this all leads into the future and break that down because you did it.
So you want the future one?
Yeah, because you just read the
now
evolution, and then the future.
The future it says agency, so it shifts from your personal control to agency. So y'all can already see where they're going with that. Yeah. Next level of data intermediaries embedded in body, devices, home, embedded cities, etc.
Right. See, so
that's a clear. I mean, without trying to get a strike for brothers, that's this right here, man. Yeah. That's this right here.
It did not say just flat out embedded in the body.
Yeah, look.
And this is embedded in the body. Embedded in the body. Embedded in the body. And on your world.
And why is it saying this? Because it's going to be linked to your home computer's IP address, your TV's, because everybody got a smart TV now.
Your phone.
Your TV's IP address. So motherfucker won't even be able to turn on your TV in your crib without one of these right here. See what I'm saying?
Welcome to the future.
If you got a 2022 or newer, nobody's gonna be able to start your car.
Now, you're not gonna be able to start your car if you got a computer chip if they decide to go the EMP route.
Exactly.
That's any car.
Well, I mean, it depends on like how it's engineered because a lot of the shit the Army has, that's why they went away from the floppy disk. Right. That was susceptible to an EMP. A lot of the shit that's like digitally embedded on these DVDs, it'll survive an EMP.
I'm talking about like, say because most cars now. Like made after
1996 was the last year they made cars like that.
Yeah,
mechanical
97,
cars,
98ish,
mechanical engines.
a few.
I mean,
Yeah,
not like
96.
Kendall,
But I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
starters
Apollo
and shit.
SS, that 96, like
Yeah.
Ice Cube and fucking.
If you
Mhm.
got
About the
if
Benjamin.
you
That was
got
96
anything
was the
after
last
that
year.
car, your car most likely has like an onboard
Yeah.
motherboard.
Well, it has a computer
and
because
it has that carbon plastic. It
mechanics
no
now
longer
aren't
has
what
metal.
they used to
Right.
be, man. Now it's just I'm going to plug into your car's mainframe,
Right.
which is that part under the dash, and it's going to get the diagnostic from the computer.
Well, they
man.
showed you that in Fast and Furious. I forgot which one, when all those cars got hacked and they was all going in the street, like
and dude was
following-
driving them remotely.
Yeah, remotely and shit.
Right.
'cause
And
they-
what happened a few years later at fucking
Tesla has
Yeah.
that.
at
shit.
that big fucking tech conference in fucking Las Vegas, you had the table where those dudes were sitting there racing and fucking hack the Jeep and shit. And then what? A couple months later, MSNBC doing a segment where they're showing a fucking congressman like, look, we have so and so to hack your fucking new car. You know what I mean? So he's gonna jump behind this right here.
Because think about it, Doc. Think about if you don't get the shit, or Slovakia, if you don't get the MOTB, you may not even be able to drive your car. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're gonna be completely eradicated from the system, bro. That's
Right.
why
Be cut
you
off.
know the brother out there in Rochester. I forgot the other name, but when he go into that word "kill," you feel me? It's like division. You're cut asunder from the system, man.
Right.
You don't worship the image, man.
Right.
You feel me? You're literally what happened to
It's all good, bro. We just got a couple of stuff.
what happened to the three Hebrew boys, right? When they didn't want to worship the beast, the image of the beast. Exactly. So we getting thrown into the fire, you know, on the spiritually speaking, but Yahweh Shah gonna be with us. Like he was with them.
And you have to have that, just like as the scriptures are a testament for our learning and our progress in this truth, man. We have to be like those three Hebrew boys, man. Have that same faith in the face of affliction, man. In the face of adversity that's coming down the pipeline, man. Right? Because we're on the verge of losing everything, man. Losing our homes, you know, losing our possibly losing our families, you know, your children, your wife, whatever the case may be, and you're gonna have to continue on. You see, the scriptures say, "He that shall be saved, he that shall endure until the end shall be saved." Man, not he that believeth now shall be saved. You got to believe in the good times and the hard times. You see, when you got nothing going for you, you got to believe. When you got everything going for you, you got to believe. You see,
So notice that was the World Economic Forum report for the month of February. It came out about 4 or 5 days ago, 2022, the year of Yahweh Shem Yahshua turning up, right? So they just came out with that, right? And
it's
this
already been hot.
right. So this is the script to go with that, right?
I'm gonna start at verse 1. If you don't mind, I'll just read down. It's all relevant. This is Psalm 64, verse 1, and it says, "To the chief musician of Psalms of David, hear my voice, O Yahweh. In my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy." Right, because just like those Hebrew boys, man, we're surrounded and compelled about our enemies, man. We're surrounded, man. We live in Colorado Springs, man. This is one of the most militarized cities and states in America, man. In Babylon.
I mean, I know they sell like body armor everywhere.
Man, this
But,
place
bro,
is
in Colorado,
going to be a battlefield.
I was
man.
just gonna say, in Colorado, you could buy
if it's not nuked off the face of the map.
right. You could buy like armor, body armor, off the shelves in
facts.
Colorado.
We just
bro.
seen it.
We was just there.
Yeah, Kevlar, Teflon.
The whole nine. You could buy that
That's what
shit.
we call full kit, right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, you could get full.
And
You know what I'm
believe me,
saying?
and especially in the mindset of these
Murderous Edomite
Right.
Christians that live out
especially
here.
those that know what's about to happen,
Right.
they have a feeling that, well, they call it shift. I always like to talk about how you got the left hand side Edomites getting ready for JT, man.
Hey,
They call it
GMS
shift.
Denver on here too.
You know what I'm saying? So you shift.
Say what,
you
bro?
know, you prepare
Denver
for shift.
bets on.
You know the truth, man. And most likely they already got the stocks full for the elect brothers that come in and use your supplies, man. One of the videos I sent out earlier today, dude was talking about it, man.
Yes,
a lot of you
yeah.
people, you know, are building stuff up for who God has chosen to have those things, man.
Right, man.
Because you think that your weapon's gonna save you, or people gonna save you,
Right.
this or that gonna save you. Look, man, the world is a big place. There's a lot of souls here. You know what I'm saying?
You
And
gonna have
Lord
to,
coming to reap. You
you have
heard?
to be a mighty warrior,
Right.
or
You
you
know what
have
I'm
to be
saying?
one of those men that get bright burned.
Right. At the end of the day, you gonna have to have protection from a higher power, man, from the Most High. You know, from Yahweh while Yahweh shot. But if
That's-
you don't, you're going to perish, man. Okay? This is verse 2. It says, hide me from thy secret counsel of the wicked.
Yeah, that's your Illuminati right there, man.
Right.
Your top elite, go ahead.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
See, your insurrection that rising up, they literally have confederate amongst themselves, all right, to rise up against, his hidden ones, which are the saints, go ahead.
Who whet their tongues like sword
Mm-hmm.
and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Slander you on the news, man. Them thugs. Them every time you see your people, man, it's in chains, man.
And that's just Jake.
All right,
When they talk about Israel, terrorists.
They dehumanize. They dehumanize Jake, man.
Hey, you super predators like back in the day.
Right.
They talk
So
about
whether it's in the truth or not, you're getting slandered and
right.
Yeah, so you might as well fight for the good side, man.
Right.
Fight that good fight, man. Verse 4, it says that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Right. So they can shoot in secret at the Most High, man. Take his books, or take his words from the books, man.
Right.
Hide his faces from the masses, man. Change the faces and covering thereof, man. Show himself to be in his place, man. Okay. Verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
Thinking they slick.
Hey, nobody's gonna see us. Hey, let's go get these Jakes, man.
Look, they in the
You got it.
they in the underground of London,
Right.
and underground of all these underground
Everywhere,
cities,
man.
thinking that the Most High
Rome.
can't fucking see
Right.
under this shit, man.
Right.
They in the
Like his eyes are
cleft.
as bright as 10,000
They in the cleft of the rock over here
Doing
in
wickedness
NORAD,
right now, man.
cooking up some shit right now.
Shining
That's
around,
right.
Yeah,
man.
we're right here.
Yeah.
Continuing on, it says, verse 6, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Every one of them.
All right, so every one of them got a deep,
Right.
just
And this is-
sickening
Mhm.
willingness and diligentness to fuck you over, man.
So yes, Sarah. Grandma was throwing rocks at 6 years old.
And like you
know what
brothers
I'm
always
saying?
say, man,
She
they're the
was
perfect.
throwing rocks
They're the
at kids.
perfect devil, man.
Right.
That's why I said causeth all, because they seeking out a diligent search, man. They want everybody
Know
to
what
be
I'm
under
saying?
this
And
shit.
that's why
right.
when your grandma get old and have dementia, she's gonna forget the values of her American hoodie or her American face mask, and as soon as she on her deathbed, man, fuck them niggas, fuck them niggas. Don't you fuck with them niggas, little Jessica.
Forget all
Don't
that
you have no
political
fucking-
correctness.
Interracial relationships, little bitch.
I seen something like that too, where
And that's the
a little
truth.
Israelite.
Well, she's gonna go back to
Woman-
what she
a woman
remembers
nurse.
base as a youngin.
And the old Jake woman old Edomite woman was on
She's
the
gonna go back to her
deathbed,
heart.
and she was like, "That's why I hate you, nigga." She's like, "You're going into slavery, right?" So
Right.
she was in the truth. It went viral. It was
She's
a
like,
while
yeah,
back.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember
She's like, no, you're going back into slavery, Blackie.
Yeah.
That shit had me dead. That shit had me dead.
Stop
man.
it.
Yeah.
Stop.
I was like, look, man, look.
You know, we have manifest. She was like,
Destiny
we're
has
gonna have a
part
great
two.
bonfire, right?
Right, yeah, she
said,
did tell her
yeah,
that. She's
I
like, we're
was
gonna
like-
burn all
Yeah, I
you.
wonder
I'm
what
like,
camp.
yeah.
I wonder what
We gonna
camp she
burn
in.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
this nurse going in. She
Hell
gonna get
yeah,
fired.
Hell yeah.
She said she gonna get fired.
She's gonna be a top.
Well,
writer
she's
of
talking about the
kingdom,
great
man.
bonfire.
no,
You
that's
know who
fact.
she learned from, because
Yeah.
ain't nobody else got the balls.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody else got the balls.
Yeah, she
Right.
learned from one of the camps.
Like-minded camps.
Underground millstone.
That's
Yeah.
right. Verse 7, and it says, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded.
See, for God is not, the Most High is not deceived, bro. He's not mocked.
I can't see you.
For a man shall reap what he shall sow. You know?
That's like one of them great teammate kill
Con,
saves.
for that
Like,
which a man
you know
sows,
what I'm
that
saying?
shall
Me
he
and
reap.
Mac playing Battlefield, and one of us approach out a little bit too far, and one of us see behind, and the nigga coming up, he got the rifle pointed at at one of the brothers. He's like, watch out! So that's what the Most High is gonna do for the elect men and the 1/3 joined unto them. You see, because look, the just shall be scarcely saved, man. It's gonna be in that moment where all hope is about to be lost, man. When you like, look, I'm about to give up your ghost for Hamashiach. It's when you shall be saved. It's not gonna be in the moment where things is easy.
The moment of truth, man. I always think about, they do this in a lot of movies too.
Right.
Whether it be Terminator or other movies. What was the fucking shit? It was a TV show. But they had one.
It's always to the last second.
What the fuck was the shit called, son? American something. But it was like how the elites all flew when the missiles came, And then they went into some underground type of shit, and they were supposed to live there. It was a TV show. If I can remember it, I'll say.
Was it called The Last Survivor or something like that?
The 100 had something similar.
No, it was all see, but that's what I'm saying. They put it in a bunch of movies, but the one I'm thinking about is kind of like similar to Terminator. But I was saying the moment of truth. You feel me? Imagine out of nowhere, right? Like they did. This is how you know Esau is a goddamn devil. Because when I first came in, everybody that had an iPhone in Hawaii heard that on their phone, North Korea, there's a missile going to be in T-minus 15 minutes. And they were saying Edomites was throwing their kids in under sewers and shit. Niggas was running around, and 15 minutes came and no missile came. So then it kind of eased out. But they did that as a test to see how the people would move when, for a threat, of a missile. And this shit happened again in Guam or Japan.
My partner from work was there when that happened.
This is in 2017.
Yeah,
I think.
It was. And he was there. He has a sticker now on his water bottle that's like, I survived this event, the nuclear event in Hawaii, basically. But like he told me, because, I heard about it and I called him. Like, yo, son, it was nice knowing you, my dog.
Yeah.
Like, he was like,
it is what it is.
So he had accepted the fact that him and his entire family was basically about to get ice.
Food. So
that's
the
all you
moment
can
of
do.
truth, the moment of truth, right? What are you gonna do when you hear that rise and fall?
And you can hear it.
Hey, I love that
And
sound,
then next
bro.
thing you know, you literally see a flying fiery serpent arrow in the sky getting bigger and bigger because it's getting closer and closer to you. Are you going to try to save yourself and run? Or are you going to still have faith on Yahweh that the cherry going to pop out of nowhere and beam your ass up?
You better hope you just stand right there. Like,
all I can do, if I see a missile and everything going crazy, I'm just,
Don't look up.
call on Yahweh.
right. I was just thinking about that.
That's a great visual for that same reference.
Hey, I got a $5 McDonald's card. I was wondering if you guys had 2 cigarettes you trade, just like 3 cigarettes.
None of us smoke, man.
Oh,
Sorry, man.
You guys have a good day.
You too. Yeah, man. You giving up the bread for tobacco sticks.
Nah, I know what people would do with fucking cigarettes.
Yeah,
It's amazing, bro.
It ain't hetero. It's the opposite.
No, I know.
Man,
So how many more pieces to that
just
point?
Okay. So verse 7 it says,
Hey,
but
you know
Yahweh
what?
shall shoot at them.
Go ahead. Hey, that's a testament to how down bad he is in his own kingdom. That nigga wanted to trade a $5 McDonald's card for 4 cigarettes. Get the fuck out
The
of
nigga
here.
could have 5 cheeseburgers, living homeless, but he would rather have 5 fucking cigarettes, bro.
Then you can go to the homeless and get fucking probably.
But realistically, that's how you know if you're in this truth and the Most High got you off of them cigarettes or that weed, bro. Like he did a big thing, bro.
When I told you that last time, you ever look up the etymology of nicotine?
Nah.
Man,
Do that real quick for the
that shit is
camera.
heavy.
You see what I'm saying?
That shit is heavy. Let me get that right. Verse 7, or Slacky 8, and it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
Right. So as we just brought out, they have their own top elite using their puppet, figurehead Klaus Schwab in the World Economic Forum in order to have their tongue fall upon themselves. And really the elect is going to flee away because we know that the chip is coming, man. They're putting it in your face. We just read it.
That's right.
You can go search it yourself on its own website, www.wef.org or some shit like that.
And let me just say this too, because it's gone over a lot of people's heads. Over this last week, man, it's basically come out and it's known to the world now that it is Babylon and NATO, basically America and NATO, that are pushing for this World War III.
Yeah.
You see, and it was exposed in that way because they had their quote unquote, spies or agents or whatever, swearing up and down, screaming it to the hilltops.
The intelligence.
War by the 15th and the 16th. War. Russia's going to invade. This, that, and the next
Russia
thing.
didn't invade.
Russia backs out.
Russia
Says, look,
backed
this is a
out.
part of an annual drill. And then what happens 2 days later? Kiev, Ukraine is shelling at Russia. And they're gonna do a whole propaganda. You'll probably see it play out this next week.
They already have.
About
The
how
bomb
somehow
blast.
They're gonna blame it on Russia, or I wouldn't be surprised if you see a massive event in one of these Western European countries, or even in the Western power of America, the USA, a major, false flag, man.
Because that narrative fell apart when
Right,
Russia
and then it looks really bad because now you have all these Americans, all these NATO troops and equipment on Russia's border, and Russia's like, "What y'all doing?"
Right.
Our units went back to where they're supposed to be. What y'all doing now?
Trying to flex.
So now that they've done that,
It's a little chess game.
The West is in a rush to try to point them as the villain to make it okay for them to go, because the people of Babylon is like, look, man, we don't want no problems with Russia, man.
Because
what you talking about?
Most
Russia?
of them is in a rational mind.
They know.
To be real, you got your six-pack Joe Edomites who are really uneducated and unlearned. They're the only ones who believe that the bike helmet soldiers even stand a chance.
And the funny thing is,
anybody
alternative news guys,
better.
You alternative news guys who love your country, who have been telling people to buy silver and gold for years so that they can save themselves.
Bro. That's what Malcolm calls
and putting your faith in them.
It's like
you can't save yourself from this shit, man.
Even you people who've been diligently doing alternative news media for years are pointing the finger at America, man. Why are we being the aggressor? Which begs the question, man, who's really the aggressor in the earth, man?
But see, America's been doing this for centuries.
Yeah.
They go and they bully smaller, weaker countries, and they steal all their resources, and then they point the finger at them like, see, they was doing some sort of.
They were under a totalitarian regime.
Right,
they had a terrible dictator.
But, I just wanted to make that point that, look, man, that true statement of the tongue falling upon themselves, like how we showed that the next one would be injected into the body. You have been telling yourself, just like the book Esau Edom says, that modern day Jewry is Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying?
Or that the Jewish encyclopedia flat out admits that they're converts and they're not the actual people. Or that
it's happening on every level.
Well, speaking of Amalek,
history of active news that will be chronologized as the beginning stages of World War III, proves and shows that the U.S. word don't mean shit.
Right.
And you're falling upon your tongue, man.
Well, speaking on Amalek, these motherfuckers have been going wild this past week while everybody's focused on the Ukraine and Russia.
Right.
So what is Amalek has been bombing the fuck out of Syria and fucking trying to antagonize Iran.
Yeah, holding drills of invading and nuking Iran. This is verse 8 or 9.
Well, Bahrain and Israel is in alliance right now to basically attack Iran or some shit just in case, which is like the first.
And if they do that,
and they just hit missiles on fucking Syria because they're trying to take it to Yehoshaphat, man, Jehoshaphat,
yeah,
bro.
Which is, hey, Damascus, man. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
hold it down. But at the end of the day, what you have going on is
kill me.
What happened?
Listen, you killing me. I'm trying to hold it up to you, but I got a bit.
Oh, you good? I got two more. I'll finish up real quick. Verse 9, it says, "And all the men shall fear, and they shall declare the works of Yahweh, for they shall wisely consider his doings." Man, those are those of you that shall wake up in the days of your youth, man. Those of you that come to the realization that, hey, man, this world don't stand for shit. Stand for something to die for nothing.
No, that's deep, because remember it said that, I kill, I make alive. The Lord do all these things.
Right.
The wise will understand the Lord and all his doings. Look, do all these things, his doings. He's doing all this shit on the right hand and left hand.
What's Matthew 24 saying that? Fear not, none of these things, for they must come to pass, roughly paraphrasing. These things must happen so that the kingdom can be therefore translated from one people to the other, man. For what we were talking about earlier. For the blood and the riches gained by deceit, man. Okay? Verse 10, and it says, "The righteous shall be glad in the Lord, and shall trust in him," man. Just like those 3 Hebrew boys in the fire, man. When this thing pops off, when people are running around with reckless abandon and crazy in their eyes, man, we have to trust in our higher power, man. We have to trust in our Lord, trust in what we've learned in our studies, man. Becoming studious and trying to master our craft, man.
That's heavy.
Okay? The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and shall trust in him. And all the upright, right? The upright in spirit, the brother's broken that down multiple weeks ago. But, to be upright in the spirit, in the heart, in the mind, shall glory, man. Okay? We shall be drinking and being merry in that day, man. All right? Because we have the understanding to know what the Most High is doing, man, and that these things must happen.
Right.
You see? Not that these things are happening, but these things must happen.
Hey, that's deep that you said that, Doc, because when these things actually happen, brother, and you actually see these things coming to fruition, brothers is really going to realize, like, yo, the Most High really woke me up to warn the sheep. It wasn't no bullshit. I wasn't wasting my life. You know? So your faith level is going to just, it's going to boom.
And especially because what's about to happen too is brothers about to get instant famous, man. You know, the fame of the prophets is about to go from what we have now, which is, small fame.
Look how spiritual.
Couple subscribers here and there.
Right.
Right. So we at the bus stop. You about to bring up that etymology.
While
you said what you just said, I just read that I am a nature conservationist. I am an occupational therapist, right? And in the spirit, we trying to conserve, this faith, which is our natural understanding, right? And our job, our occupation, is to be therapy unto, the Lord's sheep, man, through the spirit, man. Right. You feel me? This is what we do, man. Just like you said, exactly. That's that occupation. But anyway,
that reasonable service.
Hey, man, this is the medicine. Look, I ain't the doctor. There's one physician, but I got the medicine.
Yeah.
This is the prescription right here.
Right.
This book, man, this understanding, this knowledge, this brotherhood, man, that's the prescription, man. All right, the doctor's gonna come visit you real soon. All your infirmities will be gone. I promise. Right.
I think there's like a root word for Nico. I don't have my phone on me, but
Nicotina, nicotine, named from Jean Nicot, 1530 through 1600, French ambassador to Portugal, who sent tobacco seeds and powdered leaves from Lisbon to France. His name is diminutive of Nicholas. But I got the definition. So nicotine, because we've been having a lot of these demons come around and, hey, can we get a cigarette? Because, hey, times is getting hard and people can't afford them pleasures of Babylon.
Them shits are expensive.
But here's what's in the cigarette.
Well,
it's like $25.
What is the etymology or the definition of the name Nicholas? So nicotina or whatever goes back to Nicholas?
No, it was a derivative of the dude Jean Nicot, which is a derivative of the word Nicholas. And I got the etymology of nicotine is an alkaloid poison that occurs in tobacco, used in medicine, and as an insecticide.
So look up Nico.
Damn.
Look up Nico.
I didn't even know all that. Niggas got insecticide.
So Nicholas, proper name French Nicholas, from Latin Nicolas from Greek Nikolas, literally victory people, from Nike victory to Laos people. The saint died 326. Was a bishop of Myria in Lycia, patron of scholars, especially.
So look, that's the point.
Yeah.
Right? Nicotine goes back to Nicotia, which goes back to a person named Nicholas, which goes back to Nico, which goes back to Nike, which is the Greek god meaning victory. So this substance has claimed victory over your spirit, man.
For life too, man.
You see what I'm saying? Because you can't do anything without getting that nicotine fixed, because you are defeated unto the victor, which is nicotine. Nicotine is the winner, you're the loser, man.
Well, it's the most addictive substance it's the most addictive substance on the planet. One drop of nicotine on the human tongue will kill you in less than like 30 seconds. So they spread one drop of nicotine over like 182 cigarettes. I did the math like when I was trying to quit cigarettes. So one drop is spread over 182 cigarettes, which is about a carton. That's how lethal and addictive the serum nicotine is.
And then
by the box.
So and that's why I'm like, there's no coincidence that they named that thing nicotine. Right. Exactly, because they knew that chemical was going to have victory over human beings.
Paying me to kill you, bro.
We can't even take a single drop. If you've had one drop of nicotine, if you smoked a whole carton, that's one drop of nicotine in your blood system.
And when you go to the liquor store, when you go anywhere, and then people in front of you, they like buying them by the carton. And they're like, yeah, that shit runs up to like,
now.
Yeah, that shit runs up to like $200. Like,
yeah,
you buy
more than one carton.
Man, I'll be like, damn, nigga, that's commitment.
What's the name of God?
Commitment to kill yourself,
from,
bro.
Getting choked, because in New York, I mean everywhere, but in New York they sell Lucy's. That's what they call it, Lucy.
Yeah, that's what he got.
Because you get.
What's his name? Got killed.
Eric Garner.
Right. Lucy's
Go ahead,
You got a square or
yeah,
whatever.
OB,
whatever.
whatever you want to call it. Everywhere else called split. Yeah, all this. But go ahead, close this out, Elder.
Con. All right, first and foremost, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, to the body. With that being said, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahawashi, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kudash.
All right, I'd like to give double honors unto the elders of GMS, who are the true leaders of Israel, whether you can accept that or not. All right. We'd also like to extend a sincere salam to all the Akim who are out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners and four winds, as well as the few select Akwak and other Akim out there listening and learning, friends to the prophets, people who apply, Akim who apply to the prophecy of the speckled bird. All right, to all of you who say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, Ba'akabal.
Ba'akabal.
You know what I'm saying? Just another sincere Shalom. Akim keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? We on this out of here. Continue to push. Continue to thrive. Stay in the spirit. Lord willing, the Most High get us out of here soon, man. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.
See?